What's going on, everybody? And welcome back. Today, we're doing something a little different. But before we get into that, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on with my 408 here. So you guys saw in the last video, I talked about the oil pan and taking it off and everything, and I never really gave anybody an update on anything. So we took the heads off of it, specifically for the reason that this cylinder right here and this cylinder right here, actually you can still see a little bit of it down in there, and this cylinder right here, they all had a little bit of oil down in it when I flipped it back over. So I pulled the heads off of it. This thing, I'll put a picture of it right here. This was pretty full. And that's never a good sign, especially when your heads are bolted and torqued on here. With that being said, I guess I should update you guys on where my heads are at currently, because they were right here and they're currently not right here. I took my heads over to a local machine guy here in Newark. His name's Doug Mann. He's the one who put the heads on this motor to begin with, because that's who my dad's been going through for the last couple of years. He's built probably, I think, 2 or 3 of my dad's last motors, and then he is almost done building the motor for my brother's truck. And I think that thing's going to go on the dyno maybe this week, by the end of the week, or the beginning of next week. So that's pretty exciting. But back to my motor. My heads, I took them over there last night, and he believes that with them being aluminum heads, and when it was in Allison's car, it was running a little hot. And I think that's what is my issue. I think it was running hot, and then it started to twist the heads a little bit, and then it started to run a little bit more hot. Because in my car, it only ran at like 150, 160, and I could let it sit there and idle at that. In her car, it was running like 190, almost 200. I'm not trying to blame anything on her car or anything like that. I mean, I'm the one who put the motor in her car. So if it was running like crap, it's my fault. So I'm not putting any blame on her. None of this was her doing. I've seen a lot of comments about how you guys think that they should be the ones that take care of it. They had nothing to do with it. The car only made the 2 hits on the street when I was racing the Supra with Tommy in it. And then it made 1 pass at the track that nobody filmed because we were just testing with it. We were trying to see if what it would run. And that's all it did. It didn't do anything other than that. They were so wrapped up with their Dakota project that she never did anything with the Dart. She never raced it. Nothing. So it pretty much just went in her car, ran for a little bit, made for a cool video, and then we pulled it back out because I was ready to take my motor back. So none of the issues that are pertaining with my engine are any of their fault. None. I'm not blaming them for anything. It's not anybody's fault except for just the engine itself. Shit happens. So I'm not blaming anybody. I'm certainly not blaming Allison, because she's the nicest person in the world, and that's the last person that I would want to blame for something going wrong with my shit. So yeah, we are going to take this here straight edge and figure out if the block's messed up. So it takes a lot for the block to get messed up. It doesn't take a lot for aluminum heads to get messed up. So we're gonna check it real quick. All right, now with my straight edge going from corner to corner, you can see right there, it's flat. Right there, it's flat, flush. Here, we're flat and flush. In between these 2 cylinders, we're flat, and then obviously we're flat over here. So that means that there is absolutely nothing wrong with my engine block. And once Doug gets the heads milled down and flat again, I can put this engine back together. He doesn't even think I need to change the head gaskets. He thinks I can just run these multi-layer steel head gaskets, just clean them up real well, clean up the deck surface, and then clean up the bottom of the heads when he's done with it, and then torque these things down. He also gave me a bit of information on how I need to torque these heads down. With them being aluminum, you have to do the torque sequence about 2 or 3, maybe 4 times after you let the head settle for a little bit. So you do your torque sequence with, I believe it's 40, 80, 110 torque sequence, and then you let them sit for about an hour. You let the metal compress a little bit in the MLS head gaskets, and then you retorque them again, and you're gonna feel a difference. So he said I need to go through and do that process about 2 or 3 times just to confirm that the head gaskets and everything is going to be flat. So that way I don't end up twisting these heads again, and then I end up with the same issue that I've been having with coolant in the exhaust. So that's what we're gonna do with my stuff. So that gives you guys a little bit of an update on the 408. In other news, with me saying something about doing something a little different here, my brother, a lot of you guys probably don't know this, but he's a big on motorcycles. He currently owns a CBR 600 RR, and he bought it, I think it was about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years ago. And he brought it home, got his license, did all the other bullcrap, and he started riding. And he bought it used. It wasn't anything new. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. It was all black. It'd been dropped a couple times. It had some scratches on the fairings. A couple of the pieces of plastic and the fairings had broke and everything else. So what he did is he ordered a new set of fairings, new wheels, new chain, new sprockets, all kinds of stuff. Like, he spent a decent amount of money on all these nice pieces, and he took it over to our dad's house and took it all apart. And then he couldn't really figure out how to put it all back together. And that was about, I think it was the beginning of last winter. So it was probably November-ish, and it's been sitting there in pieces for, well, since then, and it's currently May. So he got fed up with it and didn't want to mess with it anymore. So he just said, screw it, I'm going to go buy another bike. And he bought a brand new 2024 Aprilia RS 660. And don't get me wrong, that bike is absolutely beautiful. I'll insert a picture right here. That thing is absolutely gorgeous. I love that bike. It is like, I believe it's called a flat plane crank V4, and the sound is unreal on those things. It doesn't sound like any other sport bike other than like an R1, which has a similar crank style to it. So what I've been doing is I went over there the other day and I started to try and put all his plastics on. I'm trying to get his back wheel on for him and everything else, because he was struggling with his back wheel. And I've been trying to surprise him by getting it done, because with him buying this new bike, he was never going to touch this bike ever again. So that's my plan for today, is I'm going to go over there to my dad's house. I've already started on it a little bit, but I'm going to try and get as much of the plastics on it today, because tomorrow I told him I want to go over there and start working on it with him. And I want it to be a surprise when we open the garage, or we walk into the garage and half or more than 3/4 of his bike is back together. So that way it gives him motivation to finish it. So that's our plan for today. We have one stop we have to make before we get there, because I kind of broke a bolt off in the frame and I had to drill it out. So we're gonna have to get a new bolt, and I have taps and a drill bit, so we can fix that. So that's our plan for today. I'm gonna take you guys along for it. The essentials. And no, I'm not going to bore you guys with another driving montage. So I'll just do one of these and I'll see if it works. Did it work? Are we here? I think I made it. I think we're here. All right, guys, this is where we are with it. We've got the front windscreen. It's on it. It's tight. All the bolts are in it. I've got the mirror on here, but it's definitely not the right bolts. They don't recess down into the correct area. So it's just kind of temporarily on here for now. I just wanted to see what it looked like with the mirror on it, and I made sure that I had to drill the hole right here. I was just making sure that I put the holes in the right spots for the wires and the turn signals in the mirrors themselves. The tail, I've already got the tail on it. This is tight and all done. The rear seat delete, It's on here and good. I mean, that's pretty easy. You just kind of click it in place. The other thing I had to fight with was the rear wheel. He was having issues. He couldn't get the spacers in here in between the swing arms for the bearing spacers on both sides, and then also have the caliper in here correctly. And he was fighting with that for a very long time. And when he would tighten this down, he had, let me find it, this spacer on the one side, and obviously it doesn't have the outer lip that it should have. He cut it off, and when he would tighten it down, it wouldn't spin. The wheel wouldn't spin because it wasn't holding the bearings in the correct place, and then it was tightening the wheel up against the swing arm. And when you would tighten it down with the nut right here, it wouldn't spin freely. So he was getting really frustrated with that. He fought with that for a very long time, and he was going to ask me to do it, and he never did. But I came over here and did it anyways. And that wheel, this thing's like tight, like really tight. And I got it to, it's spinning freely. The caliper's on there correct and everything else. We have to get that bolt hole tapped and find a new bolt for it, and then we can put the tank on it. And then after we put the tank on it, we can start putting the rest of them on it, because everything kind of hangs off of the corners of the tank fairing. So we really have to get that one done and buttoned up before I can start putting the sides and everything on it. So that's our plan. We're gonna start with fixing that bolt hole. All right, so I drilled it out, I re-tapped it, and boy, oh boy, does that look good. That's a decent looking tap right there. Not bad for a rookie. Not bad. Now it's time to put this tank on here and then get started on these side fairings, which is not going to be fun at all. This has not been fun. I don't know if you can see my face. You can definitely see my face. It is humid and disgusting, and I'm very sweaty and cheap. Nah, I wouldn't say cheap, but stupid Chinese plastic bullshit just doesn't fit very well at all. I haven't been filming a lot because Logan's got a friend over in Vegas that he's really good with motorcycles, and I've been on FaceTime with him for the last 3 or 4 hours just trying to have him help me get these fairings put on here. And yeah, it's not a good time, because that's as far as I've gotten. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the tank was already on it and the back tail was already on it. The only thing that I've put on it is this guy right here and this bottom piece, and they are only held in by 2 bolts. Yeah, this bolt right here and this bolt right here are just loosely in there, so this can sit up here. But I've been fighting this plastic piece right here and this piece that goes down here that goes inside of that one. And then there's another piece that this has to get screwed onto, and all the screws are, there's no screws. I don't have any screws. And then this piece right here, this is the cool piece. I like this piece. This piece is supposed to go in this general area and kind of sit right here and fit into all these plastic pieces inside, behind, and around, and all this other bull crap. And it's just not cooperating with me. I'm not having a good time. It's hot. I'm hot. It's already 9:45, and I have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning for work tomorrow. So I'm gonna call it quits. I did not accomplish what I wanted to accomplish today, and that was trying to get all these at least put on here to the point where he can see his bike like kind of done-ish, so he gets some motivation to get this bike done. But I'm going home. I'm calling it quits. It's hot. I will figure out. I don't know when I'm going to pick this video back up. It might be the next thing you guys might see in this video is me going to the machine shop to pick up my heads. I might end up back over here with my brother tomorrow to work on this thing. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on, what the plan is for tomorrow. So I'll see you guys when I see you. I'll just leave it at that. This is not a good sign. Oh, bad, 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 bad. Well, if you guys haven't seen my Facebook post, this is the Evo that I was driving in the video where I raced that red Cummins. It's fast. It's definitely fast. It's not slow. So, it's not mine, obviously. It's my buddy Nate's. And we took it out Saturday night. He did a pull in it, raced some 800 horsepower Cadillac. He only lost by like half a car. Like a car and a half, like if that. But if he wouldn't have granny shifted the 2.3, I figured it would have been a lot closer. But that's what happens.
That's on a mild tune still.
Yeah, he's on, this was baby tune.
Yeah, it was like 500 something to the wheel.
Yeah.
On a Mustang dyno, so maybe 600.
Yeah, so he was like, you know what? You drove it against that Cummins. I'll let you race something in it on Saturday night. And that was probably the worst decision he's ever made, because I don't know if y'all can see that, but that bell housing quick disconnected from the back side of the motor.
Very quick disconnected.
Very quickly disconnected from the back side of that motor.
Just hoping the motor's good.
I'm pretty sure that the motor's fine, because when it happened, Nate reached over and turned the key off and it stopped making noises. So, yeah. So what happened is I did a pull. We kind of beat the guy the first time. And he wanted to run another one, so we continued on to 270. I was just going to get off on 161 and go towards home. I don't really think I should be telling people where we're doing all this illegal activities.
270 in Mexico.
Oh, yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, 270 in Mexico. Yeah, I forgot they have the Mexican 270.
Yeah, it's legal there.
Yeah. So, down on the Mexico 270, I was going to start heading back towards home, but the guy wanted to run it again, so we ran it again, and yeah, so as you guys saw in that clip right there, that was a technical 343 money shift at 110. Completely unintentional, obviously, but what happened is I pushed the clutch in, I went to go find neutral, and that shifter is a short throw shifter with the stock shifter set up, so it was a little weird. I wasn't very comfortable with it, and as I put it in neutral, I started to release the clutch, and it sucked itself into third gear. I think it was just barely about to go into third gear, and as I was releasing it, it completely went into third gear at 110 miles an hour, and I didn't have enough time to stab my foot back on the clutch before it just went like sky high RPMs and catastrophic failure of the it wasn't even the transmission that let go, it was the clutch that let go, and then the clutch exploding is what took out the entire transmission. So I think I'm gonna have to start selling t-shirts so I can pay for this. These are all pieces. Obviously that's the pressure plate. That's like one of the pieces of the pressure plate. Then obviously you got a clutch disc right here, and we got a broken input shaft. Or is this?
I think we could stamp this.
Dude, this thing is disgustingly broken. Yeah. I might take that home.
That's a good souvenir.
That's a great souvenir. And a reason why you should never let me drive your stick shift vehicle. But we're going to have to fix it. I feel extremely bad. I literally got out of the car after we pulled it over on the side of the road, and I almost puked.
I would have.
Like, I legitimately almost puked. And then he said something about, you know how sick this thing would be with a dog box in it?
Yeah.
Sequential? Yeah, so...
Too bad it didn't have one.
Too bad it didn't have one, and too bad it's not going to have one, because I cannot afford a $7,500 transmission. So, I'm extremely sorry. I've never done this before in somebody else's car, and it'd be my fault. I've definitely driven people's cars and it's broken, like, because it was mechanically not right, but I've never been the reason that something breaks this bad. And to describe the feeling, I don't, have you ever done this before? Dude, I've never felt this bad in my entire life. Like, considering the fact that he just got this back
4 days prior.
4 or 5 days prior from the dyno. And then he let some absolute imbecile drive it. And now his transmission is laying on the side of his motor. Just gotta find us a 5-speed. That's all.
The trans is all that went.
Yeah.
No rods are bent.
It didn't. I think
we
it.
Took the valve cover off. There's no like broken springs or anything. So.
Yeah. It revved to about 9,200 before it let go.
I think I might have got lucky, and this braking took the stress off the engine before it could hurt anything.
Yeah, because it was definitely making some terrible noises, and that was because all of this shit.
Yeah, that was just
all of that shit was up against the flywheel while the flywheel was spinning because the motor was still running.
Yeah, I literally had a big pry bar out and just wedged it right in between here. Got a big hammer and we just beat the crap out of it. Had to jack up the car, beat the crap out of it from up here, get down there with another pry bar, try to move stuff out of the way. But once we got all that out, we can kind of hope that we can just pull this trans up out of here for now, because to do these transmissions you gotta take the subframe out and take it out of the bottom. But now that it's broken, hopefully we can just lift it out of here, turn the motor over, do a leak down, all that. You did her good.
I did her good, brother. I'm not gonna lie, I feel extremely bad, but this is one of the coolest ways that you can break a transmission. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen anything like it before in my entire life. I've never seen a clutch take out an entire bell housing.
Sent Billy a video. I said, "Is this what you guys call critical speed?"
Critical drive shaft speed? No, critical
CV
no, my left foot had an absolute mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get her fixed. We'll figure something out. But yeah, definitely be on the lookout for my website with t-shirts on it, because I gotta somehow pay for this transmission.